We're live. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, chat, to another night of The Forsaken. We have, I think this is our second week on this layout. But we have all of our players back tonight, which is exciting. So again, welcome. Hopefully you're having a decent Monday. And let's start off with a summary from last week. Let's make sure everything's turned up here. Oh, you guys aren't turned up very loud? Okay. So last week, in his dreams, Rhaenyra sees a strange man with a vague warning who fades in and out of existence. Rin also had a dream where someone is watching him closely. After what was, for some, an unrestful night of sleep, the group went down to breakfast, where Zephyr encouraged the innkeeper, Knock, to tell the restaurant owner, Shaw, how he feels. Which he did, and, hearts abound. After breakfast, the group went over to Larrick's house to peruse his personal library. Tea and coffee in hand, they picked up some books as well as some information, but not before seeing a familiar face from the fair, from the axe throwing competition. Oh, no, it was the wood carving competition. That's right. After finding out that Larrick is also in league with John, he offers to escort them to the cathedral on their way out of town. Outside, the group managed one last awkward run-in with Zolthura, the half-orc who was flirting with Firbolg, as well as another even more awkward encounter with John's sister Elizabeth once they got to the chapel. Offering help in the future, John transports them to the field of sunflowers using a method of transportation unseen by even the well-trained eye of Rhaenyra. Firbolg, finally at the place he most wanted to find, collapsed into a dreamlike trance where he chatted with his lost love, Addie, before putting her to rest in the field of sunflowers. In the distance, they found the statue that will lead them to the Torchlight Committee, as well as an unexpected surprise. Dun, dun, dun. So we'll see how tonight unfolds on The Forsaken. So yes. So we'll start off there. Once everyone got to the field of sunflowers, and actually, well, I'll wait for a couple seconds. But once everyone got to the field of, or exited the field of sunflowers and started towards the statue, following Zephyr, Zephyr led the way, and was going, right towards these piles of stones that Rhaenyra's owl saw when it was looking around. So Zephyr went over to the piles of stone and started kind of laying some out. Everyone kind of followed in suit, and as soon as you got under this huge statue with the two hands kind of reaching towards the sky, almost in a prayer-like pose, but not quite, they're not clasped or touching in any way. As soon as you get there, I think it was Tegan and Zephyr noticed some things appearing out of the corner of their eye. And as Tegan and Zephyr were looking around, one owlbear appeared.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Lord.
And then another owlbear appeared.
We're going to need a bigger map.
Let's see. We are going to need a bigger map. My goodness.
We're cornered. Why would we need a bigger map?
And then
We're just where they wanted us.
another owlbear.
This is great for all-ranged team.
Cornering the six of you, well, seven if you count Mags, and kind of forming this triangle around you. So everyone roll. This is going to be exciting. We're not using fantasy grounds for those watching the game. So
Going
this is
old
all.
school.
Yeah, this is. Well, I mean. Yeah. So everyone roll initiative, and we are going into battle. Now, if anyone would like to do anything before we start battle, I mean, that's not like fighting. If you want to say something or say something to each other, please do.
Who do you remember who succeeded on that check?
Tegan and Zephyr were the ones that kind of looked around, but once the three of them appear, I would say all of you would be able to kind of notice them out of the corner of your vision.
Would Renarius know what these things are?
Make an intelligence check for me, please.
12.
Okay. Yeah, and anyone with history proficiency, you can make a check as well.
Nope.
Nope.
Don't know nothing about
That was
history.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so Renarius, you do recognize these as owlbears. Currently, they are just standing there. They don't have like the figurines have the paw raised, but these are just standing there on all fours, in this triangle around you.
And would I know them to be intelligent, or would I know them to be aggressive?
Make a insight check.
Nope, that's a 5.
Yeah, you can't tell. I mean, you can tell that they're owlbears, but you can't tell if they're about ready to attack or if they're trying to be peaceful.
Okay.
Dem Glemte, home.
Be careful, everyone.
Owlbears.
Someone say bear.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just trying to get everyone's name on here. All right. So, let's start with Pixrin. What did you roll for initiative?
8.
All right. So, Pixrin. Tegan, what did you roll?
23.
23. Look at you. All right. Renarius?
13.
And Gerbil?
18.
Okay. Oh, no, that goes up here. Ren?
11.
And Zephyr.
Dirty
Zephyr.
20.
Dirty
Nice.
20. Great. All right.
I just realized how copacetic it is that all of our characters start with a different first letter.
Isn't it great?
Well, but my Renarius
Is a
my
W.
Ren sounds like Renarius.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So-
One. We'll
So
say.
it's Tegan,
Yeah, we'll just say that that's it.
Tegan, Zephyr,
13.
Gerbil,
All right, and okay,
Renarius.
okay. So Tegan, you go first.
Okay. Okay. I will. Oh boy, right on top of this. Okay, I will longbow attack on the one that's north of me. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
and
this one?
since yes,
Okay.
and part of my assassin's thing is what is their initiative? Well, I'm acting before them anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That if I act as before an enemy in battle, I get advantage.
Okay.
On the attack roll.
Great.
And let's see what I roll. Nat 20 and a 13.
Wow. Look at
Wow.
you.
All right, so that's a crit. All right, so damage 2d8. Well, just double it,
You
right?
pull back your longbow and you're feeling really confident about this shot, Tegan.
Yep. Add it 1d8 plus 4. So, 6 plus 4. Well, double the die, not the plus, right?
Right, correct.
So that's 12 plus 4 is 16. And since it's with advantage, it's sneak attack. So 2d6s for sneak attack. 3 and a 1, 4 doubled is 8. So 24 damage total.
24 damage total. Look at you. I'm pulling out my
And-
calculator right now.
And I will. My movement
Wow. Okay.
is going to be. We'll do chess moves. 1 up and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. So off the very corner of the map. 1 up and 5 to the right.
Okay, so over here?
Up to the right.
No, the other right.
Sorry.
The other right. Okay. So over here.
Right. One more.
Jumps over bags.
There you go.
All right.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. All right. So you go over here after sinking that arrow into owlbear number 3. And it roars after the arrow sinks right into its chest. And you are able to kind of slip over to the side. Next is Zephyr.
I'm the
You
Purpley
are
one?
purple. Yes, this
Okay.
one.
just wanted to make sure. Um, the one that Tegan just attacked, was that,
Number 3. Yes.
yeah, discernibly wounded? Or not? Okay. Never mind.
Yes. It is. I mean, you did see the arrow sink right into its chest.
Mhm.
It's not quite bloodied stage yet.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use mage armor
Okay. All right.
and also move 2 towards 3 and then basically exactly mirror of Tegan. So,
Okay.
Yep.
So over here to the side.
mhm.
All right. You cast Mage Armor yourself and slip over to the other side of the field. Next is Storple.
Okay. He's gonna see Tegan hit that one owlbear,
Mm-hmm. Number 3.
but then, so after he sees that one already hit, he's gonna turn around to the left. Is that one? Yes, that
This
one.
one? Yeah, that's number 2.
Yeah, Joe's gonna flip around to that one and also do a long bow. Unless this doesn't count as a surprise attack, would it?
No,
For
it
Gerbil.
doesn't, no, it doesn't count as surprise attack.
Nice try.
They snuck up on you.
I know. I mean, but like there, I was just saying, just on the off chance. So Gerbil's gonna roll.
Shoot them in the face 5 feet from them. Is this a
And-
surprise attack? I don't know.
Yeah. If and I'm gonna make it an arcane shot if
Okay.
it hits. Which is 14.
Yes, a 14 hits.
Ooh, okay. So I'm trying to remember the order of operations with arcane shots. I think I still do the damage, right? Because it's still a normal arrow attack,
Mhm.
right? Okay, so let me go ahead and do the damage.
Okay.
8 damage,
All right.
not the 24 or whatever. You can
It's
have.
okay. We all damage in different ways.
And then
We don't have to compare.
and then it
This is
must
not-
make the owlbear must make a charisma saving throw and beat a DC of 11.
Oh, is that
What you get for having a
okay.
dumb bugbear being an arcade archer.
Well, that's a 9. because it has
Oh.
a -2 for charisma.
Oh,
Oh.
sweet. Okay, this never happened before.
All right.
That owlbear is banished.
Oh.
Um,
Heck yeah.
So is that
and
for
so,
how long? Is that last for only a certain amount of time, or
it will pop back up at the end of its next turn.
end of its next turn? Okay.
It will appear directly in that same spot.
All right. Okay. So it is out for right now. All of a sudden, everyone sees Gerbil pull back his arcane the arcane shot. It lands right into the owlbear, hitting its shoulder, kind of almost grazing, but it did hit it a bit. But then all of a sudden, just the owlbear disappears. The other two owlbears kind of look around as if looking for the one that disappeared. Next, okay, well, next turn was owlbear number 2, actually. So, yeah, everyone looks around, the owlbear's gone, but then all of a sudden it appears back, looking very frustrated and a little angry. And
Yay.
next in the turn is Renarius.
Okay.
Be gone
I
longer.
am going to cast Cloud of Daggers. And I'm going to
Nice.
park it diagonally to where my character is. One space.
Okay, so towards owlbear 1?
Exactly right there. Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Stephanie doesn't have any like markers or anything. So here, we're just gonna just find something here really quick. So we're just gonna just put this here. All right, we're just gonna put a little stone right there. Oh no, Renarius.
Renarius is
Stop
dead.
drinking.
That's
All
safe,
right.
though.
Down.
So what does the cloud of daggers do?
Cloud of Daggers. You fill the air with spinning daggers in a cube 5 feet on each side, centered on a point you choose within range. A creature takes 44 slashing damage when it enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
Okay.
And I'm going to move to the left of Ren over there. Actually, no. I'm going to stay right where I am.
Okay. All right. So the owlbear has to enter that little 5-inch square, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. All right. Wonderful. And next is Ren
Me.
and Mags.
Okay, so nobody is like next to any of them, correct?
Correct.
We're all-
No one.
yeah, we're-
Right. Correct. No one. No
Just
one
checking,
is
just
within
checking.
5 feet of them.
And it's every square is 5 feet, right?
Correct.
And is this like dark green space to the northeast of me? Is that anything will that whole just darker green area?
Yeah.
Is that like something special?
No, it's actually the shadow from the statue.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna look at the bugbear 3, the north bugbear.
This one.
Not bugbear, you're a bugbear. Owlbear. Yes, that one.
Not all
I-
bears
I
are the
attack
same.
the bugbear.
Excuse you.
Maybe they're bugbears dressed up as owlbears. Oh,
Maybe.
They are not that coordinated.
So this one, correct?
Yep, that one, correct. I'm gonna look at that one, and with Mags, I'm gonna give a little, and Mags is gonna run up and attack it.
Okay. So Mags goes up. All right.
Let's see, and she's just gonna straight bite attack him.
Okay, roll your your attack roll.
Do I just roll a d20 for her because I don't have a character sheet for her?
Yeah.
Right? Good. 12. I don't know if there's any plus or minus for her or anything.
Oh, that's right. I was going to
Oh, it says a bite attack is a +4 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
So 16.
So 16. And that hits. So what's the damage?
Sweet. My little piece of paper is so small. Extras, Mags. Let's click on her. Maybe it'll tell me. Let's see. Damage, bite. Where's it at? Bite is 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
So
to your
2d4 plus 2. And my iPad is being very slow. Just go.
It's okay.
Come on. Do it for me. 2 plus, what was it? 2d4 plus 2, so 4 damage.
Okay.
And then there was something for 2 piercing damage, if it matters. Is the target a creature? I would assume yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It must succeed on a strength check of 11.
Ooh. Let's see if that works. Oh. That's a 13, so yes, it succeeds.
Okay, then it's fine.
Okay. So just the 4 damage?
Just the 4 damage.
Okay.
One target hits 7. Okay. Anyway, so then I am going to move diagonally northeast to be probably 2 above from above Tegan.
All right. So 2 above, like up here?
Yeah, sure, that's perfect. Probably
Okay.
1 more away from the bugbear if possible. Not bugbear, sorry,
15.
bugbear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm going to, probably should have done this earlier. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay. Remind me what
then-
that does again.
It adds plus 1d6 to my attacks.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Just keep.
Let me
track
see if
of
there's
that.
anything else. Choose creature within range, 1d6 target whenever hit with a weapon attack. You have advantage on wisdom, blah, 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 blah. So put that on that, and then I'm going to shoot it with my bow.
All right. So after Mags gives a little bite in the leg, you move over there to the side and
Oh, man, I
pull
should
back your
not.
bow.
I should get my real dice. There we go. 12.
That does not hit.
Okay, and that's my turn.
All right. So next is, owlbear 1 is next, which is this one. All right. So for those looking over at owlbear 1, it just kind of rears back and roars, and is going to go for. Yeah. Oof. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's going to go. Well, let's see. It has that. Yes. So we'll definitely notice the claw of daggers. What is its movement speed? Oh, okay. So for those watching, it moves extremely fast,
Ooh.
and darts around here. So 5. Let's see, it would. Oh, you know what? Would it probably do? It would probably just go over here to Silver since she's the closest. And actually, let me see here.
Owlbear 1 flies like the Flash, and TPKs the Forsaken.
Yeah, so it kind of looks towards Rhaenyra's, but then it starts to step, but notices the cloud of daggers, and immediately just kind of looks around and spots Pixrin beside Rhaenyra's, and kind of, frustratingly goes over and swipes at her with. Actually, you know what? It will try to snap at her with its beak. All right, I'm going to actually do this. All right. Does a 15 hit Pixrin? No? Okay. So it snaps at you. You see this just huge beak coming towards you, Pixrin, but you're able to dodge out of the way really quickly, and just this like owlbear slobber kind of splashes onto your face as the beak kind of snaps beside your ear.
Oh, come on.
And it is your turn, Pixrin.
Oh, Jesus. That is so gross. You need to brush your teeth. Oh my god. I missed you guys. So
missed you too.
no. Yeah, so because how quickly did it do the bite? Like, would I still have time to let's see. Nope. Alright, so I'm gonna hit it with my sword.
Go for it.
What I really want to do is punch it in the face. Oh,
You
that
could
sound-
try.
17.
17 to hit. That definitely hits.
Oh, yes. Okay. Six damage.
All right.
And I can attack twice because I have a bonus.
Go for it.
I have the two
Yep.
weapon fighting.
Yep.
Oh, 11.
11
That one
does
did
not hit.
do so well.
So your
No.
first, so you have, what kind of swords do you have? Just,
One of them, I have my left one, I have my regular short sword. Blah. And then the other one, I have that, I think it was the life stealing one.
okay.
Sword of life stealing.
Yeah.
Because I replaced one of mine.
Okay. Yeah, I would say with the, as it kind of starts, after it kind of snaps beside your ear and it starts going back, you immediately react and are able to get that first hit in. But then when you try to go in for the second hit, it is able to kind of just kind of dodge out of the way just barely.
Kind of like stumble.
Mm-hmm. All right. And so, it's owlbear number anything else for your turn, Pixrin?
Oh my gosh, I almost clicked on the video to move my icon. Hi, yeah, I'm here. I want to move. I have, let's see, I'm trying to figure out the left and right thing. Rhaenyra's is there, so
You are within the 5 feet of them, so
yeah, I
will
don't
say.
want to move towards the blades. I would move back towards. Is that Jorag in the back?
Yeah, you have Jirag
Jirag,
behind you,
yeah.
but you are within
Yeah.
5 feet of the owlbear, so it will have an opportunity attack if you move.
Okay, I'll stay in one place.
Okay,
then.
all right. Just wanted to make sure you understood that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so it is owlbear
Keep your
number.
cousins in check.
It's owlbear number 3's turn, and then after that,
incredibly
it's
racist.
back up to you, Tegan, just so that you're aware. Owlbear number 3. Owlbear number 3 is going to probably, since Tegan attacked it. Yeah, I would say since Tegan attacked it, Owlbear 3 is going to be kind of nose towards Tegan and just, well, let's see, well, it is going to, I don't think it will care. It's going to just kind of leap over Mags, which would give her an opportunity attack,
Yeah.
Ren, and go right over to you, Tegan.
Okay.
10.
10 does not hit.
Okay.
All right, so now that the owlbear is over to you, Tegan, it will... Okay, yeah, it will take its... It's going to do a claw attack on you, so it will rear back and... Does a... Oof. Does a 21 hit, Tegan?
No, absolutely not. No, it hits. What are you, nuts?
Wow.
That's a
This is when
21.
I find out
I mean,
Tegan is a
Rethinking
god.
my life choices here.
I mean, all right.
Miles,
Aw.
Tegan, wishes it didn't hit, but
Right. Understandable. Understandable. All right. So. All right. So we're just going to do. Give me a refresher on how many hit points do you have, Tegan?
Oh no.
Just need to know.
I just love when the DM asks
Science.
that
What's
question.
what's the range that we're going for here?
I have
Science.
37.
Okay, all right. So it takes you. It rears back and hits you with one of its claws, Tegan, which hurts like hell. For 12 damage.
Okay.
80 damage.
Okay.
Dun,
Wow.
dun, dun.
Please don't die.
Yeah. I think that will be fine. Okay, Tegan, it is your turn.
That will be fine.
That's fine. Quick question: is Mags within 5 feet of the owlbear?
I think so.
Yes, Maxis, yes. Yes.
Okay.
So you would have advantage. You're flanking.
Oh, that's true. Oh, so okay, that's even better. Okay. So, rapier, since he's right on top of me. $12 and a 16.
That
So
hits.
that is 22. Yeah, 22.
Oh, yeah.
So that is D8 plus 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus, since Mags is within 5 feet, I get sneak attack.
Okay, yeah.
2. 10.
So 10 total.
10 total.
All right. So you so what were you hitting? You were hitting with your rapier, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you slice into this owlbear with the rapier, it yells out again, and it's looking bloodied.
Get this thing off of me.
So you see some kind of blood oozing from the couple of wounds that you've already put into it.
Yep.
Anything else you want to do for your turn?
All right. Yeah. No, disengage is an action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm stuck there.
Okay. All right. So, I forgot to. So Zephyr, it's your turn, and Gerbil, you are after that.
All right. Number 3 is the one that's assaulting Tegan, right?
Correct.
Oh, and I forgot, and I feel really embarrassed that I forgot this because I spent so much time planning it out. But when I used mage armor, Zephyr went. Bzzz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Solid.
and now he's gonna go poof, shink, and use ice knife on that owlbear.
Okay. What's the range on that?
60 feet.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine.
And that's a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, and that's I keep clicking the wrong thing. Sorry. That's 4 cold damage.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I always forget. Ice Knife has 2 steps. So that's 4 piercing damage, and then the shard explodes.
Ooh, okay.
And every creature within 5 feet of it has to make
Oh.
including it, must succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. All right.
All right. That includes Ren and Mags, right?
No, that includes no, just Mags, because it's not.
Yeah.
Rin's not within 5 feet.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be you and Mags.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I believe in you.
Dex.
Natural 20 for Mags.
Yeah.
That's nice. So Mags just kind of hops out of the way. That's an 8 for the owlbear, so I'm guessing that's a fail.
Correct.
15.
Yeah, that's good. It's a 14 is what you're trying to beat.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, and
So
then
what
it takes
happens?
an additional 2d6 cold damage.
Okay.
And that's 9.
Okay, so that's 13 total. Because you have
Correct.
+4, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's looking... Yeah, so the owlbear, once the shard explodes, just kind of screams out, and you can see it majorly supporting itself, with one of its front legs, trying to stay upright.
Zephyr's also going to move like just to the side of let's see, it's 1, 2, 3 up and 1, 2, 3 over.
So there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Gerbil, it's your turn. Yeah, and then it'll be the owlbear and then Rhaenyra's.
Okay. Watching the owlbear I hit and made banish and come back angry,
Yeah.
and then hearing the angry one behind me.
It is focused on you, Gerbil.
I'm going to move diagonally and move to the space, 2 spaces to the left of Zephyr.
Okay. Right here?
Yes.
Okay.
And since that was still focused on me, I'm just gonna
Oh, yeah.
pull out.
It's watching you like
do
a hawk.
another. I'll do another arrow.
Okay.
And that is a 23.
That hits.
Banished again.
5 damage.
All right.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and do an action, burn my action surge,
Okay.
and do another action and just hit it again. 19.
19 hits.
And 9 damage.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right, so you see both arrows sink into the owlbear. It roars out at you, Gerbil. It is angry.
I'll roar back.
And it is owlbear number 2's turn. Rhaenyra's, you'll be after. So after sinking these 2 arrows in, Gerbil, this owlbear just leaps right in front of you. And God, you can barely share the same space. It is inches from your face and just roars right in front of your face. The spit, kind of going onto your face.
Burr gets blown back.
Yeah, sounds almost like a mix between almost like a hawk crying out and a bear roaring. And it is going to...
Wish I put on that chainmail shirt with that action surge now that I think about it.
Okay, so it's going to rear back one of its claws and... Ooh, okay. That's a 9 to hit. So that doesn't work.
Nope.
So it misses with the claw attack, and then it's going to, since it's so angry with you, it's going to come back with its beak. After missing with the claw, it will snap towards you. And oh, you are lucky, sir. That is a let's see here. An 11 to hit.
It does not hit.
So, oh no, wait, is it even that much? Yeah, an 11 to hit. All right, so you are able to dodge out of the way of the beak. Do you have any kind of verbal reaction? Do you want to say anything to it?
Bad bear. Bad.
Nice. All right, so
Animal
it is...
handling. No.
So the bugbear will kind of stay where it's at, just kind of pacing back and forth in that little kind of, that little 10-foot area. Rhaenyra, it is your turn. Rin, you are next.
All right, I am going to move. I'm going to move one space to the left there, just in front of the pile of daggers.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, in front
Nope.
of the cloud of daggers. Okay.
Yep. And then I'm going to shoot a firebolt at the one that's attacking Tegan and Mags.
Okay.
Firebolt. I roll. It's a 20.
That hits.
And then it'll take 7 damage.
Okay. Oh gosh, I've gotten them like all mixed up now. I think that's Albert 3. Yeah.
3 is the
Yeah.
one that's talking to him.
Yeah.
So how much damage, Renerius?
7.
Okay. You hit it, and it is almost on the ground.
Almost on the
It's
ground.
looking really bad. Really bad.
Finish him.
So my turn then? Or no, you're still going. Are you
Mags.
on?
I'm done.
Mags. Don't forget Mags' turn.
Yep. Mags is going to turn around and hit him, number 3. Because
Advantage.
Tegan's there, I get advantage.
Fire him in the butt.
Which is better, a 1 or a 2?
Oh
to
my
tell.
god.
tell.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
Wait,
So neither of
Renerius,
those.
you support.
Neither of those.
I
Mags
can't
just
use it.
licks its wounds.
Oh,
And then I will fire an arrow at it.
Okay.
Oh wait, well it doesn't matter. 1 and 2, it's bad anyway. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot with 13.
Okay. 13 is your...
13 is
Just-
my attack with my arrow.
It hits.
Yes, sweet. Then it's 1d6 plus 4, so 8. But then it's also has.
Let's just say, how do you want to do this?
Okay, it's I see that Mags didn't really get it, and so angrily I quickly grab an arrow out of my quiver and shoot straight for the neck, preferably maybe where there's a wound already available.
Make a dexterity check for me to see how precise you get this arrow.
15.
Okay, yeah, you're able to get it right into where there's already a wound, and the owlbear screeches out, and as it falls to the ground, it just disappears.
Oh,
Okay.
that's weird. And then as it disappears, is it an action for me to? I don't think it is, to shift my hunter's mark. Seems that one's dead.
What does Hunter's Mark say? Does it say anything about?
So hunter's mark, you choose a creature you can range until the spell ends. You deal this to the
think
target whenever you hit it. If the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends,
Yeah.
you can use the bonus action to.
Yeah, you still have your bonus action. Yeah, you can switch it
So
over.
I will shift it over to owlbear number 2. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. I just want to say, as the owlbear disappears, Tegan will turn to Ren and give him the Jeremiah Johnson nod of approval.
Nice.
all 6 seconds. That's your next turn. Just
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to do for your turn, Ren?
That is it.
Okay. All right. So it is owlbear number 1's turn, and Pixron will be next. Yeah, I think that it's probably from missing you both times during its last turn, Pixron. It's going to be a little upset and want to lay into you.
That first attack is going to be a 9 because I'm using important.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's a 9 to hit, which does not hit.
Well, the roll's a 9. I think you would still add bonuses, but still.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that would be a 16 to hit. Pixron. No? Okay. Great. All right. So it rears its claw back and swipes it towards you, but you're able to dodge out of the way. Yet again, Pixron. And it is your turn.
It's too close for me to do my feet. I'll just hit it like I did last time,
Okay.
just to make it easier. Does a 19 hit?
It does hit. Yes.
7 damage.
All right.
Sorry, my chair is squeaky.
Oh, you're fine.
17 to hit
Yep, that hits.
for the second.
Yeah.
And 8 damage.
All right.
8,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like 15 damage, I think.
Yes. All right. Awesome. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
I think it'll have a chance to hit me again if I try to move.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna stay in the same spot.
Keep standing shoulder to shoulder with it. Got it.
Stare right in the eye.
Stare. You can almost see like it's if an owlbear has eyebrows, you can see them like narrow as it just kind of like goes face to face with you, and like stomping its front feet as it's getting ready for its next attack. It is owlbear number 3's. Owlbear number 3 is gone. So
The
Tegan, it is
tumbleweeds.
your turn, and then Zephyr will be after that.
Okay. Tegan will see the owlbear attacking Pixern, so he will spin and launch a longbow at that one.
Okay.
All right.
So pull back your arrow. Does it
Natural
work?
20.
Nice. That's just been your second natural 20 for this
That's
fight.
my second natural 20.
Get out of here. We're
This little
done.
black die is knocking it out
It's
of the park.
weighted. That's what that means.
All right, so we double this
Well
one. then
played. Well played.
Double this one plus 6. Oh, plus 4. 5 plus 4. 5 doubled is 10. Plus 4 is 14.
All right.
Since Pixar was within 5 feet, I get sneak attack. Doubled. Right? She's within 5 feet of him. Right?
Yes, yeah, she's right there in front of him.
6 doubled, 12. So 12 plus
Just wiping
14,
it out of the park,
26.
dude.
26.
Okay, 26. Got it. Okay, let me just use my calculator here.
Sneak
I'm
attack
trying to
Okay.
for
hang
the
stare
win.
As
down here.
you like
The rest of
land
us have fun.
as you land this arrow, it is you can tell just by pulling back the arrow, Tegan, that it's going to be a very good shot, and it sails through the air, like goes right past like Rhaenyra's head, since he's standing like right there, goes right past his head, whooshes right past, and lands into the owlbear, landing right into its chest as you did with owlbear number 3.
Please don't fall on top of me.
It kind of turns towards you, Tegan, as it was so focused on Pixtron before, and just screeches in your direction. It's looking more than bloodied. It's looking pretty like it's having to kind of support its weight with one of its front legs, with one of its front claws. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
No, I'm going to stay put. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So next is Zephyr, and then after that's Gerbil.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna move up right next to Mags.
Okay.
Other
Other side?
like where her. Yeah, sure.
You mean like back here?
Yeah, right
Okay.
there. And just just to make sure that I've been tracking it right.
Mhm.
The owlbear that Pixrin is fighting is the one that Tegan just nailed
Correct.
with that amazing
yes.
shot. Okay.
And you would have seen that.
So I'm gonna use one of my sorcery points to cast Shocking Grasp, which is usually range touch as a range 30 feet
Okay.
spell. So, Emperor Palpatining it basically is what
Awesome. All right.
the sound that Zephyr makes. Back over to spells and rolled hit. That is a 19. 19 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Yay. And then 5 lightning damage.
All right. Excellent. And so that was for this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to make sure. All right. So yeah. It's looking rough. It's looking very rough. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
I don't think so.
All right. So next is Gerbil, and then after that is the owlbear, and then Rhaenyra. So Gerbil, what you want to do?
Well, he wants to get away, but
Sure.
I'm gonna, as it's like literally breathing down my neck, I'm just gonna be like, not today. And I'm gonna pull out my war pick Piccadilly just with my offhand and just
Okay.
and just swing and miss 7.
Yeah, that does
At this
not
big
hit.
epic
I'm
moment.
so sorry.
It's been a while since he used the pickaxe.
Yeah.
since I could say.
All right. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
I'm just gonna like look around, but then just like just to like do like Henry Cavill Mission Possible, grow a beard.
Nice.
Hey, Steph.
Yes.
Your personal camera for your lovely face is not showing.
I just realized that, so it
Yeah.
should be fixed in just a couple of seconds. I just fixed it in OBS, so.
Oh yeah, it's in the corner.
Sorry
Yeah,
about
see it
that
now.
for everyone watching.
You look
It's
so
been me this
cute.
entire time.
Ah,
Maybe. There we
Yes, I
go.
see you now.
There we go. You just need me to say something.
oh yeah, sure.
All right.
Always
Yeah, Gerbil, your hit did not land. You didn't have anything else for your turn, correct?
Nope.
All right. So, owlbear number 2. This one. And that's the one that you attacked, correct, Gerbil? Sorry, my mind was in two
Yes.
different places. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, after the attack misses, it just kind of like looks and just kind of and will come after you with its claw attack. Ooh, that was so close. Does a 26 hit?
Let me check real quick. Yes. Yes.
It rolled a 19.
Could have been worse.
Oh
Could have
man.
been worse.
Gerbil's head just soccer ball. Bonk.
That's 11 points of damage, Gerbil. So it rears back with its claw and it lands right into like your chest, your top chest area near your shoulder, and just like claws down.
That all you got? Second attack.
Yeah. Nope. Here comes the second attack.
Wait, actually,
Yeah, see ya.
okay, no.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
It becomes distracted by like, you know, another animal like running through like at the end of the field.
Hey,
And
it's okay. Gerbil finished his arc last week.
yeah. All right. So,
It's his time.
Rhaenyra, it is your turn. Rin, you will be next.
All right. I will fire a shot at Andrew. You hit the owlbear that was on silver, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up right next to Mags on the other side
Damn,
of.
it's a party at Mags.
Yeah. And then I'm going to shoot a fireball at the one that's on Pixrin.
Did you say that you moved, Rhaenyra?
Yes, just moving back by Mags there.
Watch
Okay.
the hair. Watch the hair.
Opposite of where Zephyr is.
So,
Mag
Right.
sandwich.
here?
Up one more.
There.
Yep.
Okay. That would be opposite. All right. So, what
Oh.
are you doing to the owlbear?
Firebolt again.
All right. To the one by Pixrin, correct?
Yes.
All right. Go for it.
Firebolt.
Yeah, do I need to take a couple of steps back?
That's an 11.
I'm stuck.
No. Firebolt, not fireball.
Firebolt. Okay, just one. Okay.
So that you said that was an 11
Tieflings
for
are
attack.
fireproof, right?
I know, but
Uh,
like, I'm trying not to die here too.
Yep, 11 to attack.
It
That
does
failed.
not land. So it goes right past his head. In an effort to like kind of go around Pixrin, you kind of misshoot it and it goes around both of them. So
Whoops.
anything else you want to do for your turn?
Nope, nothing
Okay.
for me.
All right. So Ren, it is you and Mags are up.
Seeing number 2 going at Gerbil, I'm going to send Mags over.
Okay.
Anywhere beside it, wherever you want to put it, doesn't
All
really
right.
matter. And it's going to attack.
Great.
No, this is my kill.
So Dribble, you see Mags kind of run over to the bugbear's feet.
Where is it at? Plus
Owlbear.
4, so 18.
Oh, owlbear. I'm
Owlbear.
sorry. That's yeah.
22.
One's a bug, one's an owl.
22 hits. Yes.
Okay. So it is 5 plus 2, 7 damage, and it needs to make a strength check.
All right. So
Or a
7.
strength saving throw, if that makes a difference.
Strength saving throw. Got you. All right, that's a 21.
Oh, blast. Yeah, it's fine. And then I am going to pull out an arrow and shoot at it.
Okay.
I miss entirely. 13.
Yeah.
No, 13.
Does 13 hit?
No.
13 hit?
Oh, 13. Yes, it hits.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
Okay, never mind. I guess I got some good rolls. Okay, so that, and then that's because of the hunter's mark. It's that. Oh, 9 damage.
Okay.
Piercing damage.
All right. As you sink that arrow into it, Ren, it's right into its shoulder, and it's looking bloodied. Looking like, yeah, it's getting down there.
That's my turn.
All right. So next is Owlbear 1 and then Pixrin. All right. So this owlbear in front of you, Pixrin, goes at you again with its claw attack. Oh. I don't think that's hits, but I'll ask. 16? I think that misses, right? I think it's
Yeah,
rolled
it
that a few
misses.
times with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So it goes in with its claw. It does not hit. Yeah, and that's it. It's still staring you down. So Pixar, it is your turn, and then it's to Tegan.
I'm gonna put one of my swords in my other hand and punch it in the face.
Ooh, okay, all right. Make an unarmed strike.
Break his nose.
And attack.
Oh, well, that's a 7.
Oh, a 7?
I try to go up to punch it, and I go,
Yeah.
Discombobulate.
Trying not to stab myself with my
Yeah.
stab myself
You
with my sword.
kind of misjudged how bulky and how like tall the owlbear is, and so it just kind of, you just kind of like punch up and just almost like have to roll around to kind of catch your balance.
Pixrid has no depth perception.
I don't.
Oh, it's canon.
Oh, yes.
No. Anything else you want to do with your turn, Pixrin?
Oh man. God, I have that image in my head now. It's so funny to me. I can't. I am going to use my bonus action to turn my non-magical sword. I'm using magic weapon
Mm-hmm.
at 2nd level.
Okay.
For that. And start
All right.
concentrating on that.
Okay. Perfect. I'm curious, how long does your cloud of daggers last? Is it 1 minute?
It's 1 minute.
Okay.
So we're on round 3, 4?
Yeah, it's 4. It hasn't been 10 rounds for sure. Okay. All right. So, Tegan, is your turn, and then it's Zephyr.
All right. Tegan will take a deep breath, concentrate, and attack with the longbow again on the one on Pixrin.
Okay.
Oh dear. 3 plus 6, that's a 9.
That does not hit. I'm sorry, Tegan.
I am sorry.
You used all your luck last turn.
Yeah, I did.
You have inspiration.
Ooh, yes, I do.
You do have inspiration, yes.
And it's a D6, I think.
I think a D8 for your level.
Okay. Let's see.
If it's
Yeah,
not,
sure.
that's what we're making it.
Okay. Let me find a D8.
At least for tonight.
All right, I got a D8. Here goes nothing. I need 4 or better. 6.
So what's
6,
the total
so,
of that? So 15?
6 plus 5 is 15. Yep.
That hits.
That hits. Yes. All right, 1d8 plus 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. And Pixar is within 5 feet.
How do you
so
want to
that's
do this?
All right. He's gonna kneel on one knee.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
All right.
Focus.
Steady yourself. Mm-hmm.
Steady it.
Unbutton a
and put-
shirt.
Oh, okay.
And put-
Tegan's our heartthrob. Got it.
Yes.
Now that Kazil's gone.
He's the
No.
Lennox.
Yeah, no,
Do you
just as
not
he starts,
remember the river washing scene with Kazil?
just as he starts to
God.
concentrate, a light breeze comes across and blows back his hair.
Yes, that it does. Tegan, as you're pulling back this bow and you steady yourself, you feel that that breeze kind of like tickle the back of your neck. And the rest of you
And
feel
just-
it too, and you're like, I
Are
haven't
we all
felt
inspired?
And put one right in his eye.
All right.
Gerbil was a barbarian.
Okay.
His rage would increase. He just looks over.
Yeah. So you let loose of the arrow and it goes straight into Owlbear 1's eye. It rears back and kind of screams out like the other one did. Starts falling to the ground, but then disappears just like the
All
other.
right. For my movement, then I will move. Let's see, 5, 10. I'll stay away from his. I can trigger that cloud of daggers, right?
Yeah, if you get into that 5 block, that block, yes.
Within 5 of it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you have to be like inside the block.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay. I will move like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, straight down. That's 25. I got 10 more.
So 5 down here?
Yep.
Okay.
And then 2 to the left. And that's where I'll stay.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, picturing it as you were just standing there, the owlbear, you see the arrow just come from behind you, land right into the owlbear's eye. It starts to fall after it screams out, and then it disappears, and almost like a translucent dust kind of floats through the air after it disappears out of from what you can tell out of existence. I mean,
Could I make an arcane check on that, or maybe
well, first you
afterwards?
need
I
to
can
make
wait
a
till after.
perception check, maybe to see if you saw that.
Oh shit!
Renarius is looking at us.
I mean, it
Wow.
was like a fine dust floating through the air. It's not like it's something huge,
It's really
Actually,
weird.
yeah.
My bad.
23 on perception.
I mean, you can
Yes.
make a perception check at disadvantage, Renarius. Please. Please.
All right. So the first result was a 19. Let's see what the next one is.
Okay.
A 17.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Renarius, as you're kind of you glance over your shoulder towards Pixarin, or I think you were kind of looking in that direction, and you see as the owlbear disappears, this kind of almost like a mist kind of sparkle on the breeze a little bit, and then it just dissipates.
That's weird.
That it is, my friend. All right, so Zephyr, it is your turn. Dribble, you are next.
There is an owlbear next to me.
It's the first sentence we've heard.
As Zephyr looks over towards the owlbear.
And then we realize, wait, he's had to hear that before.
Okay. I'll step back next to Renarius.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll use Ray of Frost, which...
All right.
Wait. Brr.
Is it Ray of Frost like a code?
So you hear so Renarius, Zephyr steps back towards you, and you hear Zephyr go, "Brr."
And shoot a chilly blast.
To each his own, I guess.
That's a 16 to hit.
That will hit. Yes.
And nice, 8 damage. Cold damage.
All right. It is. It's looking rough. Yeah, it's looking rough. The ray of frost hits it. Gerbil, as you're kind of staring face to face with this owlbear, suddenly this like frost kind of goes over its fur, and you can see it kind of like shiver before like probably screaming like in the direction of Renarius and Zephyr, not really knowing who it's coming from.
What's wrong? Catch a cold?
Oh, okay. Double attack next time. Got it.
Is it my turn yet?
Zephyr, do you have anything else for your turn? Zephyr?
I think that's it for me.
Okay.
Honestly,
I was making sure.
I was sitting here looking at that through
Okay.
my bonus actions, going, "Is there anything that would be useful for me to do?" No, there's not anything that's
Okay.
useful for me to do.
All right, so it is Gerbil. It is your turn. Then it's Owlbear and then Renarius.
Yeah. Can I shoot? I can't shoot a bow when it's like right there.
Nope.
Right?
Yeah.
That's-
Nope.
You
Yep.
can. It would be at disadvantage.
I mean,
Yeah.
you are very close to this thing.
No, I'll keep swinging.
You'd have a better chance of like just stabbing it with an arrow.
Yeah, I'll keep swinging. I'll swing Piccadilly again.
Okay.
So
You take a swing
8.
with Piccadilly. 8. You
yes, I should have
missed.
saved that action so a while
as
back.
the owlbear is like shaking off the frost from its hair, you hit it. You swing at it just at that time, and so it misses.
Okay, no more smack talk. Just hit it.
Some of the frost from its hair kind of goes on goes onto you as it like shakes it off. All right. Anything else for your turn, Gerbil?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do my second wind and regain a D10 plus 4.
Okay.
Where's D10? D10. For all.
Yeah, it's looking pretty angry at you, Gerbil.
I heal 9.
Okay. All right. Is that all for you?
Yes, that's all.
Okay, so it's the owlbear next, then it's Rhaenyra. So the owlbear gerbil, after it shakes off the rest of the frost from its fur, is going to snap at you with its beak. Oh, so lucky, sir. That's a 9 to hit. You're able to dodge out of the way. It comes back with its claw attack. That's a 19 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. All right. Cool beans. Cool
Ha!
beans.
Boom!
Let's see here. That is 14 points of damage.
Oof. Glad I decided to do that. That second
Actually,
win right there.
Actually, it's 16 points
Oh.
of damage.
Okay.
Actually, it's 20. No, it's 16.
Wait, what?
It's
Wait a
16.
second.
It's 16. 40
Whoa,
points
whoa.
of damage. So 16
Do you need
points.
a new calculator?
See, he slit Gerbil's jugular, and it's like just
power.
it's like it's more time. Gerbil's
The
head.
angrier gerbil gets, the more hippos he loses.
Last thing you hear is some weird like, "Come at me, what you got?"
Yeah, so it hits you pretty good with its claw attack, gerbil. Yeah, for its free action, it just screams at you again, and starts to look a little panicked, I think, because it will. Let me see. Oh yeah, it turns around and notices that the other two owlbears are gone, and looks panicked for a moment, but then looks at you, very determined. Gerbil.
I'll spit. I'll just...
Oh, okay. All right.
Definitely 2 attacks next time.
Actually, it's 20 now.
This gerbil is on one tonight.
So, Gerbil, you spit. Where are you aiming your spit? Just like at its feet or on its face?
Just its general direction.
Okay,
It's
all right.
general
So
direction.
we'll say the spit lands on its arm. The owlbear looks down at the arm. It's like its fur at the spit glistening on top of it, and looks back at you, and just screams again. And yeah, so it's Rhaenyra's turn, and then it's Ren and Max.
All right. I will.
We'll shut up in a barbarian. I messed up.
I will cast web.
Okay.
It's going to fill a 20-foot cube. The 20-foot cube being its top half or bottom half, however you're looking at it,
Okay.
and then out towards Silva. But
All
not-
right.
j-
So you're
just
casting
stopping
it to
shortly
where it's-
before.
It's getting the bugbear.
Correct.
I mean, the owlbear.
Yep.
Okay.
My cloud of daggers will
Friendly
go away
fire.
because-
Gerbil's dead.
So your cloud daggers is down.
Yep.
So we'll use this as like just a marker for the web. So it stops before it gets to Pixern, correct? Oh gosh.
Yes. Yep.
And then
It
covers
also
the
stops
owlbear.
before it gets to Mags.
Okay. All right. So it's getting the back end of the owlbear. So what does that do?
Basically, each creature that starts to turn the webs must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is restrained as long as it remains in the webs or until it breaks free.
Dexterity save. That is an 18.
No, when it starts its turn.
Oh, and it starts its turn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And that's that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just give me a quick reminder if I don't
Sure.
think about when we come around. All right. Anything else for your turn, or is that it, Rhaenyra?
No, that's. I'll back up towards Ren.
Okay, so right beside.
I'm telling you to come to my corner the whole time, you know.
I was getting there.
Mags is gonna attack.
All right.
With 18 plus 4, so
That
3 short
hits.
And that is 7, 8, 9 points of damage. And it needs to make, if it's still alive, it needs to make another strength check.
It is still alive,
Wow.
and that is an 18 strength.
Blast. Okay, that's fine.
All right. It's
and
looking
then,
really rough though.
as it does that, I'll pull another arrow out, and as I aim, I'll kind of just yell, I'll say, "Leave him alone!" And I'll roll 16 plus 8, so
That
20
hits.
something.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 16 points of damage.
How do you want to do this, Ren?
I just as I scream that, I really just look a little bit tighter, and I want to shoot and hit it right in the eye.
All right. So, yeah, you pull back the arrow, shoot it right towards. It lands right into the owlbear's eye. You see it kind of scream back, even within the webbing that's over it. And just as it starts to fall down, it disappears as well. And you guys are out of combat.
Do I notice the fine dust falling on the ground at all?
You are very far away.
I mean, maybe I have a real keen eye, okay?
Gerbil, make a perception check, though. Actually, don't even make a perception check. You were literally looking right into its face. Gerbil would notice the kind of, as it starts to fall and kind of disappears, there's this kind of like fine translucent dust that's in the air for just a moment before it dissipates.
Gotcha.
All right.
I'll look down at Mags and be like, "That was weird."
All right.
Did I
so
make
yeah.
an Arcana check on that dust phenomenon?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to kind of try to think because there's nothing really to check because it's already dissipated, but you can definitely kind of make an Arcana check to kind of see if you remember anything like that.
Natural 20.
Okay. It definitely seems to you, Rhaenyra, that even though you brought these things down and they definitely seem bloodied and like that you had probably brought them to like 0 hit points because of how that they were looking, that they definitely... There's 2 possibilities. Either they weren't entirely physical, or they were something transported them away at death.
Okie dokie.
All right,
I'm going to relay that information to everyone.
Switch over to our RP map. There we go.
I've read about something like this before, but I have no definitive answer for us.
It's probably, I don't know, probably some kind of defense. I didn't finish drawing the symbol, did I?
You didn't what?
Before the bugbears showed up, Gerbil was drawing the symbol.
Owlbears.
Gerbil was drawing the symbol by the statues.
Yes, that's right. I completely forgot that you were doing that. So yes, you probably didn't get it completed before they showed up. But yeah. So where are you drawing the circle again, Gerbil? Like
where I think in between where I was told to draw the circle.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just making sure.
Yeah. So I'll go up and just like swing the bow back and put the war papers.
And so again, just to give a refresher, everyone is standing. You're just on the edge of the sunflower field that you came out of just a few minutes ago. Standing right beside the huge statue of the 2 hands reaching up towards the sky. In the distance, you can see the 2 rivers, which most of you will kind of remember that that was part of the description of the Field of Sunflowers, is where the two rivers meet and where you would find the statue. You see some mountains in the distance. There's a few houses in the distance and a village, but they're far, I mean, you can walk to them, but it would take probably a couple of hours to get there. Maybe a little bit less, but yeah.
As Gerbil is doing that, I'm going to go up just beside him while he's doing it and touch his shoulder while he's doing it and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Oh. Thank you.
Which would be 8 points of health for you.
Thank you. I will take it. 5 more owlbears appear. Sorry.
Congratulations, you cast a spell. Summoning next round of monsters.
Port mode activated.
All right, so what are you
Hang
guys
in
doing?
there.
Zephyr, what are you doing?
Looking maybe a little confused. So I assume I would have known that this was trapped. So.
I'll send you a message.
Okay.
Tegan's just going to be looking around, very anxious, like waiting for another shoe to drop if anything else happens.
So this is probably the first time we've seen you cast magic, right, Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am gonna walk up and say, oh,
I didn't know that you were trained in the magical arts.
Literally like casting dust. Just wind. Just a gentle breeze. Ruffles your cloak. Working with what I have here.
Good to know.
and that was a productive conversation.
Yes. The symbol Gerbil's drawing, was that something we knew about, or is that something that Gerbil's just doing? I can't remember if that was a conversation that someone said for us to do.
I think
Actually,
it was
I don't know.
something Gerbil found out, but I don't know if he told you.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to go up as Gerbil's drawing this and be like, what is the symbol for?
Are you drawing this in the dirt, Gerbil, or are you taking, or what are you doing?
What I told him to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I just remember make the symbol. I think I might have been doing it with the stones.
Zephyr pointed
Okay.
at the rocks and then showed you the symbol on the coin.
All right.
Yeah. And I would have pulled out Addie's pouch with the symbol on it, and just to double check, and I'll hand the pouch to Ren and be like, I was told, and Zephyr confirmed it. This is the torch symbol of the Torchlight Committee. Apparently, if I do this by these statues, what's his name will appear, and yeah. And I'll gesture towards Zephyr. Continue putting down the symbol.
Okay. So you're looking to make this symbol out of the stones, right under the statue. I would say with the how big are you making this symbol, Gerbil? Like how wide? I mean, the stones are pretty good size. I mean, they're not huge. I mean, not a huge size, but they're not like pebbles. They're probably about like you could hold them with your 2 hands as a bugbear.
How far apart are the stone hands? Or are they like? Is it like one statue? Or is it 2 statues?
It's 1 statue, and they are just kind of
Okay.
like this, yeah.
Okay, I'd probably. How big is the statue? Like how wide?
The statue's base is probably around like 20 feet in diameter.
Are there enough stones that it looks like
Maybe
I need to
30.
match the base, like like?
Oh yeah, there are
diameter?
like 4 or 5 piles of stones of that size.
Okay, I'll to be safe, Dribble would probably just try to like make it the same size as the statue.
Okay. All right. I would say it would take you. Who all is helping him do this?
Seeing him do it, I'll help if I might not be strong enough to do a lot, but I'll pitch in.
Yeah, I will too.
Okay. All right.
I'll pass around the pouch just to make sure everyone knows the symbol.
Hang in there.
Pixtron, what are you doing?
Soothing our swords and kind of looking around to make sure that there's nothing else that's gonna pop out, basically.
Okay, make a perception check for me. Tegan, what are you up to?
Basically doing the same thing. Yes.
Okay. What Pixtron's doing?
Yeah.
Okay, make a perception check.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Perception +4. 21.
All right. So you both, you sheathe your weapons, put away your bow, and look around, and yeah, it looks open. It looks clear. You don't see. I mean, you might see like someone in the far distance, like by the larger house that you see, that would take you a while to walk to, but no one around close. All right, so for those, with the 4 of you working to, or 3 of you working to get this symbol created out of the stones, I would say it would take you probably an hour. And as you finish up, and you have the symbol of that eye laid out in these stones under this statue, nothing happens.
Renarius is going to cast Detect Magic as an action.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go torchlight committee. Anything happen?
Nothing happens, Ren.
Just checking.
Renarius, as you do that, it's interesting. You don't sense any magic from like the stones or from the statue, but there is a little bit of like almost like an arcane residue in the air, similar to
Owlbear dust.
Well, I mean, and that's what it's kind of like around where the group of you fought the 3 owlbears.
So, but we're standing where we are, right?
Yeah. So as everyone stands there, everyone make a perception check for me.
Oh, natural 1.
Not as good this time. 8.
17.
12.
Natural 1, but +1, so 2.
22.
I also got a 22.
Okay.
Are you
Anyone with a
perception
15,
nerds?
anyone with a 15 or above, you kind of glance around as you're just standing around waiting for something to happen. And you suddenly see within like, because I'm assuming the group of you are standing pretty like, not like back to back, but standing in a grouping together. Standing about 15, 20, about about 10 feet away from you you see this female Firbolg with this light and dark skin. It's kind of in patches on her body. This long, flowy, kind of blondish hair that has some tints of gold in it and almost seems to shimmer in the sunlight. And she's wearing this kind of long green dress with this lighter green cardigan over it. Yeah, she appears within like 10, just almost like she just came out of nowhere. Like you don't see her materialize. You just kind of look up and she's there.
Would detect magic still be up at this point?
How long does it stay active?
10 minutes.
No.
Okay.
She appears and has a green hood over her on her head, and she slips it back. I see you made it. Welcome. And that's where we'll take our bio break. All right, so for those watching, we take an 8 to 10 minute bio break. So stay tuned, stay where you're at, or go and grab a snack, go and grab a drink yourself, and we will see you in 8 to 10 minutes. All right, bye.
We lived.
Our mics are hot. You guys did well. I mean, I scaled down the owlbears a bit, but you did okay. You did okay.
Oh, you're supposed to play
You
to our
definitely
ego.
would
Tell
have
us
to.
you raised the owlbears.
No, I didn't raise them. I'm sorry. Well, I didn't. The only thing I scaled back was that they were supposed to every time get a multi-attack.
Gerbil could have took it.
Yeah,
Took
ooh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it could have been the possibility of, like, 20, 30, hit points if they rolled well.
It's okay. Gerbil
Per
has
turn.
40.
Wow. Yeah. So, yeah. All right, be right back.
Do either of you use OneNote on the iPad at all?
What cereal are we talking about today?
No cereal. Rhubarb apple crisp.
Ooh.
Yum.
Rhubarb.
Yum, yum, yum.
Can't figure out how to get the link to a page. Oh, I started shifting to it last game because then I can like have them all and then it will direct to each other, but guess I'll have to do all the linking later on my
Like linking from a web page, or
OneNote acts as if it's like web pages, but it's just a document. So I have a page that's just my session notes, and so then like the Torchlight committee, I can have a page somewhere else in the document that's the Torchlight committee, and I can link those. So on my session notes, it would have a hot link that I can click on. It would take me to that part of the notes. I don't know if I like all the oh boys.
As she turns to a new page in her massive notebook of DM horrors.
Oh, come now.
Oh boy.
if you try this, like the paragraph from the one section, if you right click on it, there's a copy link to paragraph.
I'm on my iPad is what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, well, what's the equivalent of a right click on an iPad?
There is
Press and hold.
Chuck iPad out window. No.
It just doesn't
Wow.
highlight. It's fine. It's fine, guys. I'll just link it to everything later.
Actually, they gave me on OneNote gives me a shortcut to a key, Control and K. The link.
Well, again, he's on an iPad. There's no.
Oh,
Don't worry, I have a keyboard.
okay.
Oh.
I'll try it.
You see what's in the top.
No, that didn't really. Google search it real quick.
Yeah, and when there's right click on something, you can copy the link. Copy a link to the paragraph and insert and paste it somewhere else. says all you have to do is hold your finger on that spot for a second. And it should pop up.
I have all my notes in way too many places. This is a problem.
I don't know. I'm seeing where I can find Link. It's just not doing what I want it to do.
I'm sorry.
It's totally fine.
That's the most frustrating thing.
I will figure it out later, and it won't
Okay.
take that much time. So
I just want you to work. God damn. All right. Okay. All right. So we are all back. So let's go live here. Oh nope, wrong one. There we go. I always accidentally click the be right back. Like I always accidentally click the other thing of like starting soon instead of clicking off the. Yeah, that's a Stephanie. Welcome. Hey, glad you're still here, chat. Hopefully, it's been an interesting time. Yeah. So, where we left off is that this Firbolg appeared about 10 feet away from you. So with the dual-colored skin, we got some browns and some lighter colored, a lighter colored skin tone. With
Calico
these
Firbolg.
kind of, pardon?
Calico.
Yeah, with these kind of, these beautiful kind of honey-colored eyes that match her hair and kind of glisten in the sunlight as well. She pulls down her hood and, oh, you made it. Welcome.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
She looks to Zephyr. Oh, friend. And she will kneel down. Well, she doesn't have to kneel down. I keep thinking you're shorter than you are. I don't know why. She will extend her arms, Zephyr, for a hug.
Big hug.
All right. So she hugs Zephyr, a very warm embrace, and I'm so glad to see you that you made it. I'm Geneva. I work for Aurelius, who kind of sent Zephyr to fetch the lot of you, and I see that
Come meet me in the field of sunflowers. It's time we talked.
exactly. I see that he was successful. You figured out the puzzle. Hopefully the owlbears didn't give you too much trouble.
Is it okay we killed them?
Oh, you didn't kill them. They, once they're down to 0 hit points, we spirit them away. So, they're more or less a security system.
0 hit points?
They'll be right. That was a DM. That was a DM stuff right there. Once they're
Everyone's nose.
once they're almost dead, once they're almost, once they're
Zephyr knows that phrase now, by the way.
yeah, once they're almost, their health is depleted and they're about ready to die, I guess. We take them away and heal them, and they're more magic than actual owlbears, kind of.
Right. So where'd you come from?
Oh, from Aurelius's place. Which so
Dem Glemte? Home.
yes, Dem Glemte. Which is you guys are seeming very confused. Why, I guess I should ask why you came here?
I came because I was told to find Aurelius. Once by someone I loved. She communicated to me through a dream. And then we ran into Bird. And Bird said, come here.
You cute little thing.
Yes, Zephyr. A very good agent of ours. That sounds a little more. It's not that mysterious. He helps us. So, does anyone else have another reason for coming here, or is that it? Because you were told to come here. You know about the Torchlight Committee, I assume?
I mean, we know of the Torchlight Committee, and I, for one, have come to help because that's what my mission was, and that's what my mission is. So,
And I'm here to help Gerbil by proxy. So
Oh, it's nice. of
Same.
you. Oh. Okay, well, I was hoping you would have more of an idea of what it is you were coming for. This will make things more interesting.
Working with what I have here.
Right. No, I don't blame you, Zephyr. I don't. I just thought things were aligning more than they are. It's okay. It's all right. Well, Aurelius abides in Dem Glemte, which is a demi-plane, separate from this plane. So we'll have to travel there. And she puts a hand in her pocket and takes out a handful of pearls. And starts going around to each of you and gives you a pearl each. Here, hold on to these. There's kind of a thing with this demi-plane, Dem Glemte. In order to travel there, you need to hold either a precious gemstone, or that's why I give you the pearls, in your hand. Clutch it tightly, and think of a memory. It doesn't have to be anything significant. It could be what you ate for lunch yesterday. But you have to put a memory into the pearls that I gave you, and be thinking about that as you're traveling. And the memory will go into the gemstone for as long as you're in the demi-plane.
Does my wolf need one as well then?
No, you'll just have to give up 2 in order for
Give
your
up
wolf to
2?
travel. I mean, you put 2 put 2 memories into the stone. And I'm sure, and she'll kind of kneel down to Mags and kind of gently pat Mags on the head. And Ren, you'll kind of notice that Mags doesn't seem frightened of her. Seems very at ease around her. And she'll travel with you if you do that. She looks to you, Gerbil. I'm sorry?
are we at risk of losing these memories?
Not as long as the gem isn't destroyed. And as long as you don't bring harm to the demi-plane.
Fingers crossed.
You're not here to destroy the demi-plane, are you?
No.
Then keep the gem safe and you won't have to worry about anything. Okay, well, you're a quiet bunch. Are we ready? You'll just need to stand around the stone circle you've created, the symbol. So stand around and just hold the gemstone in your hand. Think about the memory. And again, it doesn't have to be, please, you don't feel like you have to give up something important. It could be anything. Some people have a miscommunication of that and end up giving up a lot more than what they bargained for. But if you want to give up something, I mean, it's up to you. Just think of what the memory you want to put inside of the stone, and as you're standing around the circle, and she'll kind of stand at one. She'll kind of stand at one end of the circle and just kind of stand there and wait for the rest of you to get in position.
Zephyr will very quickly go stand right.
Thank you, Zephyr.
Turbo will step in.
Same.
All right. Tegan will step in.
Yep.
Venarius will step in.
All right. Now, as players, all of you need to private message me the memory that you're putting into the stone. Doesn't have to be like right this second, but just within the next like 10, 15 minutes. I'll give you some time to think about it. All right. Everyone, okay. And she'll kind of look around and make sure everyone's like holding the stone. All right. Think of what the memory and Zephyr. Think of the memory and all right. Close your eyes. I should have said that. That's important. Just close your eyes. Relax. And then within a moment you feel, even if you had your eyes open, you almost feel the urge to close them. And you feel this kind of lull in your body and this kind of almost this kind of arcane thumping, almost like a drum beat coming from your hand that's clutched around the gem. And you do feel that kind of push and pull that you feel with the transportation circles and other transport things that you've used in this world. Now, everyone roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
You're giving gerbil PTSD over here.
And I will go around to each of you to see what you rolled, so that way we can tackle that individually.
All right.
And yeah, so you feel that kind of push and pull. You start to hear this kind of hum in your ears, this kind of almost like an arcane hum, especially if you're proficient in the arcane. You would recognize this as with something with powerful magic. Now, Pixtrin, what did you roll? Oh, actually, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Roll a D100 for me. I told you the wrong thing. I am so sorry.
Oh, okay.
So roll a D100 for me. And then I'll go around and see what everyone rolls.
Well, it's the two dice, the 10,
yeah,
20,
if
30,
you don't
40.
have like you use the two D10s. So one's with the tens and then one's with the single digits on it.
And D&D Beyond has the digital dice too. So.
I can't use lucky on a D100.
No, you cannot.
Did you use one of your portents? No.
You say I rolled 2 D10s for it?
Yeah, you roll. There's one D10 with like 10, 20, 30, 40, and there's another D10 that has just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, well, I don't have those. So.
All right, so.
No, well, if you have you bought a 7 set of dice?
No.
Oh.
I just have a random hodgepodge of goodness.
Do you have D&D Beyond open?
Yeah, but my dice were really slow on that one.
Okay. Well, I mean, you
anyway.
can roll a D10 twice, I guess.
That just designate one as the tens place.
Yeah.
Got it.
Two different colors if you have them.
Yeah. 91.
Which is better, higher or lower?
Well, I mean, I guess you'll find out. Pixtron, what did you roll?
Sorry.
8.
An 8.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, wow. Great
Wow,
job,
that's
Pixtron.
great. That's
All right.
fantastic.
So,
I think that gives us our answer.
Tegan, what did you roll?
A 44.
Okay. Renarius, what did you roll?
52.
Turbo, what did you roll?
27.
Rin, what did you roll?
91.
Could you roll again for me for Mags, please? Sorry,
Yes.
I should have said that.
95.
95.
Wow. Copacetic. In
Nice.
sync.
Zephyr, what did you roll?
97.
Okay, that actually works. I was going to say you've probably done this a lot of times, so. Okay.
If Pip is coming with me, do I also need a roll one for Pip?
Pip's dead.
Pip.
Pip's furling at the sunflowers.
Pip
We're
into the pearl?
We're going to say no. I'm going to say no this time.
Would have been 84 either way.
Okay. All right. So, as you feel this kind of like this hum die down in your ears, all of a sudden you feel kind of like your stomach drop. Pixrin, you pass out. You come to consciousness for a couple of seconds and start to like open your eyes, and just as you start to do that, everything goes black. Tegan, you open your eyes and you do see kind of a red glow as your eyes are adjusting, and you smell something burning. Rhaenyra, you well,
Oh, no.
so you feel that kind of your stomach drop, and then all of a sudden you you kind of take like a small like breath in, as you would do, like breathe in, and as you do, you breathe in water.
Oh, great.
And we'll come back to you. Gerbil, you, let's see, 27. Okay. Yeah, you feel your stomach drop and you start to open your eyes and you just feel like your energy has been zapped from you, which honestly kind of makes sense with the day you've had. I mean, you had the thing in the sunflower field earlier, then you had the fight with the 3 bugbears. You feel just exhausted.
So how I feel
Maybe
on
the
every Monday.
most tired, besides like emotionally tired, the most physically tired you've ever felt. Ren, you and Mags just you feel your stomach drop and you just feel a little disoriented as you open your eyes and to this new scene, which I'll describe in a second. And Zephyr, the same thing. You don't even feel disoriented. You've done this a few times. You're good. You just kind of stretch and yeah. All right. So, Gerbil, Rin, Mags, and Zephyr. You and let's see, what was and Tegan too, because you are still conscious and there. The few of you open your eyes and what you see immediately is, you see Geneva standing off to the side, taking off her hood once again that she must have put on during the process, before you guys jumped here. But you also see this like cute little cafe just sitting by itself. There are no other buildings around it. It's just this little cafe with like a bakery window and like a little outdoor seating area. And it's like 2 stories. And it looks like the most welcoming cafe you've ever seen. And it even has a sign on it, but all it says is cafe. And on the window it has handwritten in paint, cafe. But besides it just sitting there by itself, you do see the ground is kind of a mix of like dirt and grass. But then not too, like maybe 30 feet out on either side of this cafe and like even behind you, a towering wall of rock going up, I mean, almost to what you would consider the sky. But you do see an end to it, kind of a cliff face going all the way around. So you're kind of in this like huge hole of sorts. Blue sky, clouds besides that. But then also you see these kind of red crystals floating above the cliff faces that are so high up in the air. They're tall, a little bit skinny, but they're just kind of floating off of the ground and emanating this very bright red light, which is what you kind of saw when you started opening your eyes, Tegan. You still kind of smell the burning a little bit. Just you. Just Tegan. So you kind of look around at one each other and you see Pixrin's on the ground, unconscious. And Rhaenyra isn't there. And Gerbil, you see this as well. I don't know if I mentioned you, but you see this as well. But you are just, you just sit down on the ground. You're so exhausted. And then going over to Rhaenyra, everyone that's there doesn't see Rhaenyra there. And going over to Rhaenyra, do you open your eyes after breathing in this water?
Yes.
You are underwater. Just nothing around you. You don't see any sea life. You see some light shining from the top. Before you can even think of what to do, though, you suddenly, you kind of take in another frantic gasp of air, and it's actual air, and you're where everyone else is. So it was just for maybe 5 seconds that you were underwater. So you appear where everyone else is, and you're just gasping and on all fours, and you're just drenched, like you had just been submerged into a pool or into a body of water and just wisped out of it.
What was that?
Oh no. Geneva kind of rushes over to Rhaenyra.
I almost died.
I know, and she pats you on the back and kind of gets down to your level. I know, it's okay, it's all right. You're okay. Sometimes, some weird things can happen when you come over into this plane.
I wish I knew about that before.
I know. I'm
said,
sorry.
okay, I'm just going to walk into the thing. I'm just going to walk into the thing, and everything will be fine. Nothing was fine. Nothing was fine.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want everyone to be upset or worry about it. So I was hoping for the best. I'm sorry, but you're okay. You're okay. Anytime that happens, usually you're fine. And she'll give you some some gentle pats on the back to try and get some you feel some water coming out of your throat, Rhaenyra.
Tegan will rush over to Pixrin and check on her.
Okay.
Sort of I don't know if I don't want to prop her up. I don't know what's wrong with her, so I might shout to the others that Pixrin's seemingly unconscious.
Make a perception check, or if you want to make a medicine check, if you want to try and feel for a pulse or something, Tegan.
Well, my perception's better, so.
In perception, you're just kind of looking at her.
15.
Okay.
Perception.
She seems unconscious. You kind of,
alive, just out?
Yeah. You haven't done a medicine check. You would assume she's alive, but you're just looking at her.
I'll call out to the others.
But if you want to make a medicine check, you can.
All right, I'll make a medicine check.
All right. If you want to feel for a pulse or something.
19.
Okay. Yeah. You are you feeling for a pulse on her wrist or on her neck?
On her wrist.
Okay. Yeah. So she's alive. She's just unconscious, or so it seems. She's unconscious. Oh.
Is she gonna be all right?
Geneva rushes over to you, Tegan. Oh no. Okay. And she gets a looks like maybe a health potion out of her belt, out of her bag, and okay. You mind help me kind of lift her up?
Yep. I'll help
and
prop
she'll
her up.
pour some of the health potion into her mouth. Pixrin, you start coming around.
Oh. What happened?
Sometimes traveling to this demi-plane has that effect. You're not always knocked unconscious. It affects some people differently according to the day, the stars, the tides.
Gerbil's now lying on the ground.
Are you okay, Bugbear?
I'll just look at her.
What's the matter with everybody?
Rude.
Well, some of you were okay, but some of you had some negative side effects.
You're all wet.
Yeah.
I'll be
Negative
fine
side effects.
in a little bit. I'll be fine. I need some time to think over my life choices.
I don't know what to say to that.
Oh, well, that can also be, sometimes that affects people that way too. A little, emotional turmoil. Yeah, so, welcome to Dem Glemte. This is, the demi-plane that we call home. It's a little more, what's the word? Fantastical here? And again, you guys see the large cliff faces with the glowing red crystals kind of hovering above the cliff faces that are towering over you. Yeah. So, but Aurelius can talk to you about this. He can hopefully answer questions you have. He shouldn't be that busy today, I don't think. So, come on. He's in the cafe, and she'll motion towards the lone cafe. That's the only building, anything in this hole.
Firbolg will shakily get back up.
Oh, do you need help? Do you need some assistance? She is going to help you to your feet, Pixarin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Anytime. I hate to see it happen to people.
I don't understand. So we're on a different plane, and
Yes.
What's all these crystals?
Well, that's a long story. Something Aurelius can talk to you about. These crystals keep this place protected from the rest of the plane. Not that it's like horribly dangerous out there, but things just kind of happen sometimes. And so we keep this place protected and kind of unseen. Like, if you were standing up on that cliff, you wouldn't see that there was a hole here. I mean, you could walk on it and still be okay. But, the people up there don't see the red crystals. That's just if you're down here. Otherwise, they're invisible to those, in the rest of the plane.
Does any of this remind Gerbil of the Feywild?
Not this area, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Do you happen to have a map so we don't get lost while here?
Well, we're just going to the cafe right now.
Okay.
But we can get a map to you before you, if you're heading out to the rest of the plane. Sure. Absolutely. Okay, let's go. And she will start walking, and she'll continue to kind of help anyone that needs help. If you're everyone following her to the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And of course, all of this looks familiar to you, Zephyr. You know your way. You know the way. What is that from? Anyways, give me a couple of seconds while
Moana.
Maybe. I feel like it's from the Muppet Christmas Carol. I don't know. Okay. Everything's from the Muppet Christmas Carol in my head. All right. So yeah, you guys head towards this lovely little cafe. Again, it has that window, just a single door you go through. As you pass through the front door into this cafe, you hear that hanging cafe sign kind of squeak with a wind that's you don't feel. And as you step through the door, it's an open cafe. There are there are some bookshelves, there are tables, there's a counter area. It looks like a cafe that you would have seen maybe in a town like Relesque. Upscale, very clean. You don't see anyone there, except for this winged humanoid creature sitting at a table almost dead center. He has dark skin, a white tuft of hair with this very kind of like squared off beard, wearing these blue robes with these golden chains kind of looping in and looping out in different areas. And his wings are out, and they are this beautiful shade of onyx.
Zephyr will kneel. Hail, Aurelius!
Aurelius will stand and, Zephyr, you made it. Welcome. Welcome to all of you. I'm glad that you got it here safe. I see a couple of you look like you've had a rough travel to the plane. I am sorry for that. It's something I've tried to work on, but I can't seem to make it an easier transition, and for that I'm sorry. Please, sit down.
Firbolg's already walking towards the chair.
Sit back down at the table, and there's enough chairs for everyone. Honestly, like, it almost seemed like the table was smaller when you first came in, but it almost seems like in the span of him speaking to you and sitting back down, the table has become larger, and there's just enough chairs for everyone. Geneva will stand by the group and just kind of like smile reassuringly and just, motion towards the table. I'll go and get you some teas, some coffees. We'll have a variety so you can choose what you want, okay? And she'll go towards the counter area where there's a Yanti working, female appearing, with this chin-length blonde hair and these moss green skin that's working behind the counter. And Geneva will go over and just kind of talk to her and start looks like she's getting things prepared. And Aurelius is sitting at the table. Please, sit down.
Zephyr will sit on his left.
Firbolg's already just sitting in a chair, just plops down.
No, friend. We'll get you some coffee. We'll pep you right up.
Tea.
I'll take a seat.
I'll also sit down.
Please.
He'll sit down.
I think I'll stand.
Okay, that's fine. I'm definitely not going to force you to sit down, so please be however you want to be. So, what can I do? Do you have any questions? Or Geneva kind of rushes almost over, and it's almost like she did back in the field. She just kind of appears beside, almost very quick beside Aurelius. And she leans down and whispers something into his ear. Oh, okay. Seems like you don't know a lot about the plane or the committee, or you were told to come here. And he looks to you, Gerbil.
Oh.
Please, can we get him some coffee? Or thank you. And all of a sudden, the Yanti just rushes over with this huge tray of coffees and teas and bread and little cut sandwiches.
We'll just take a tea, snip it, and then just down it. And yes, I had multiple reasons to come here, but I mean, you were the one who sent Zephyr to come find us directly, right?
Yes, I did. And almost out of nowhere, he pulls up this huge book onto the table and just kind of like lays it down. Yes, I had you written down in here for candidates for the Torchlight Committee. So I sent Zephyr here and to go and fetch you and bring you here. And he did a wonderful job, as always, Zephyr. Bravo. Bravo.
I don't know what to say to that.
And he puts the kind of like slams the book down, back down onto the floor, or what you would suppose is the floor. Yeah, I heard of a few happenings down in the plane. I have quite a few people down there who are part of the committee, and they kept mentioning you. So I thought, hey, why not bring him up?
Tegan will want to ask a question. One of our companions, who is no longer with us, had a father who was at least claimed to be part of the Torchlight, or with Torchlight, or used to be with the Torchlight Committee. His name was Wilhelm.
Yes.
Are you familiar with him? What's the story with him? He seemed to be out of sorts. He was looking for some sort of, and we were trying to help him recover some sort of artifact.
Yes. Wilhelm was an interesting case. He did work. He is with us. He is with the Torchlight Committee. Wilhelm was already a bit
Unstable.
Well, that's a strong word, but maybe a few steps down from that when he came to us. He was very driven and very passionate about things, about helping, and one thing kind of led to another, and the next thing that we knew, we were checking in with him, or he was checking in with us, and you know of the gym, so that you had to put the memory in, correct? Yes.
You now.
We
did not before.
Right, but you knew before you came here.
Yes.
Geneva explained it to you, I expect.
Wilhelm claimed his memory, you're calling it? The mark, I think you were calling it?
Oh, the time-traveling device, yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, going to Wilhelm, he never quite grasped the idea that you don't have to give up important memories when traveling to the Demi-Plane or to other planes of existence. So yeah, that was part of the problem, and then he would lose his stone or do something that caused a harmful effect to the Demi-Plane or wherever he was at. And then he got all caught up in this, which we assigned him to work with the time devices. But he became so caught up in it and so addicted to it that, well, when he lost the one that he had in the Underdark, he asked if there were more, and we told him that there wasn't. Which was a lie. Because we kind of wanted him to move on. But it doesn't seem that he is capable of that. Because...
Yeah, he enlisted our help to try to... He thought that the mayor in Burlesque had his device, but as it turns out, after a rather complicated scheme that we acquired that lookalike device from the mayor, that it was indeed just a lookalike, not a true device.
Yeah. I'm aware of a bit of that, but...
Do you know of John Cresswood?
I'm aware of John. I've talked with John. I've brought John here, but he John concerns me in that he can do a lot of good in his position, and with his power, and he's genuinely, I mean, as far as I've been able to or have accounts of, a good person. But what happened to his parents? He wants to stay neutral, and that's fine. I just feel that he could do so much more if he put his mind to it, instead of holding up his sister in burlesque and, transporting people for money.
Oh. Well, I think you might, I don't know if you are aware, it might interest you to know he has a working device.
I know. And I trust it with him.
Okay. Just, seeing as we're here and...
Honestly, sometimes it's better for things to stay with a mutual party than it is to stay with either side.
Okay, so he is not officially a member of...
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. We've offered, I've begged almost, and yeah, he wants to stay in the middle. Maybe one day, though. I keep hoping.
Does time flow the same on this plane as where we were?
Yes, it does. Traveling through the plane, time can get a bit wibbly wobbly in certain areas. But I mean, you've experienced things that can happen when transporting to this plane. It can also happen when going back. We haven't ran across anyone who's lost large spans of time yet, but the Demi-Plane decides, I guess. It's kind of up to it who gets affected and why. Sometimes there's a reason that it affects you the way that it does. Sometimes it's just bad luck. Once you get back to your plane, though, just be careful of time itself. You might, nothing serious, but you might find yourself, say, standing in one place for 20 minutes, thinking that it's only been a minute. It kind of leaves you a bit dazed sometimes.
Do you know who I am?
I don't know what to say to that.
Well, and he brings up the book and puts it back down, flips through and this book is this thick. Flips through your gerbil. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Closes it. Puts it back down. And we have Ren and Rhaenyra and Pixren and Tegan.
Astra'lannor was my wife.
Oh. Interesting.
She was the one who told me to find you before Zephyr. But she told me into a dream because she's been dead many years now.
Addie was a good one. I'm sorry for your loss.
Me and her spent roughly a decade together in the Feywild. But we came back here and I lost my memories, and she died. I've only just now found out that we came back for the Torchlight Committee.
Yeah. There are things that are happening, Gerbil, and they've been happening for some time. We've knew about them. We knew about them a while ago, months ago, possibly, well, yes, years ago, and, well, not that many. Anyways, Aurelius. We've seen it coming for a while, and it's getting to the point to where we need to bring in people like you who can make a difference. Addie was a trusted person with us. We have a few, but she was trusted. And she was someone I called upon to help with this predicament that involves both this plane and yours. But, well, you saw how it turned out.
So did this directly tie into my brother?
He's a pawn in it, but yes. He's not a big player, but he is feeding the wrong side. The Shiga. The mages.
About that, we've seen a lot. We've seen floating cities, we've seen falling cities, we've seen mages tortured and killed and burned in a furnace.
Yes.
We've seen sacrifices to a great one. We've been to another city where the great one is just some guy named John Crestwood. We've been harassed by some crazy bitch of a tiefling named Rinka. What is this? What is this Shiga? What is the big scheme here? What is going on?
Your frustration is earned. Let me show you something. And he'll get up and just kind of nod towards Geneva and the Yanti who are behind the counter still. Geneva looks busy with book work or something. The Yanti is like drinking a cappuccino. He'll get up and kind of motion towards a wooden door in the back of the cafe that you didn't notice before. And as he approaches the door, he'll wave his hand, and you almost see like an arcane glow on the door kind of brighten and then dissipate in different colors. And the door will kind of click open and open for him. Going inside is a huge library type setting. This huge crackling fireplace with towering bookshelves that go all the way to the ceiling, which rises several feet in the air, to skylights that are in the ceiling that it's so high up that you can't see this, like it's you can't see like details of the ceiling. You just see like the skylights with the black silhouette of the ceiling. But just bookshelves going all the way up, with different rows and staircases kind of leading up and ladders. Just a huge room, and he'll lead you in and go towards a far wall from where you come in at, and there's one bookshelf that's doesn't have books on it. There are like knickknacks here and there, but one bookshelf has been like cleaned out, and there's a kind of glass covering on it. And inside, there are three, how do I describe this? Kind of glass cases that are round, circular, stand about 7 inches, 8 inches tall, with these gold bases. And inside the glass on these three things, well, one of them, the far left one, is empty except for this like translucent residue. Well, not translucent, kind of glowing residue on the bottom of on the gold base. The glass case in the middle, this glass sphere in the middle, inside has almost like these dark swirls that are just swirling around each other. And then in the far right one is this, looking at it, it almost looks like something the way you would see a land if you were far, like floating far into the sky. You see almost like little trees and greenery on it, and a waterfall cascading from rocks. It's almost like this little tiny land that could fit into the palm of your hand that's floating in this glass orb. And he'll kind of wave his hand again, and in order for y'all to have seen this, like the lights come on in this shelf and kind of light it up. Have any of you seen anything like this before?
No, I can't say that I have.
I don't believe so.
These are, well, these are kind of other planes, other worlds. They exist out there, somewhere, but these are representations of them, active representations. And one reason why we called Adian, and he looks to you, Gerbil, with kind of, kind eyes, is that we started noticing one of these disappearing. Not the case, but the world inside. Which means that wherever that plane of existence or world is, it was disappearing as well. That was the first time we noticed it. And that was, what? A year ago? Less? When you came back and everything happened?
I think it's 5 years ago.
What?
I thought it was 5 years ago. I could be wrong.
Oh, 5 years ago? Okay.
4 years.
4 years.
That's what
okay.
happened.
So it's what? Sorry, that was a DM mistake. That was 4 years ago?
Yes.
It's been happening slowly since then. It was really slowly at first, or we would have accelerated things at the beginning. But, and he looks back to the orbs, to these like globes. But it's accelerated immensely in the past. These are just representations. I have a whole room of these. But I would say out of the collection of 40, 50 that I have, 20 of those have either disappeared completely or started to dissipate. And the only reason that would be happening is because someone is either messing with the plane directly or messing with time, which can affect the planes of existence.
But wait, how do planes of existence cease to exist?
That's an interesting question. As I said, it could be someone messing with time, which with these time devices, and there are a few of them, unfortunately, that exist because of those stupid sandlots and smart people. And, or they're going through and taking care of the planes themselves, which could be anything. It could be wiping out the ecosystem. It could be wiping out their rulers. It could be... There's a number of things that can be done.
You said you knew that John had one. Do you know of others?
I know that others exist. I don't know where they are. I can sense them in the plane. I can sense them in this plane and in yours, the few times I've visited. But I don't have a way of directly locating them, as you can see with John. That wasn't just me being... I mean, we did lie to him and say that there were, if he wanted another one, he had to get the one that he lost back, which he assumed was the one that was in Relasque, which obviously that was incorrect because that one was a fake. And John's is not the one that Wilhelm had. It's a different one. So, that's why we need people like you. You're not the only team. We have teams exploring the planes that are still in existence, and maybe they'll need help at some point, but right now they're trying their best. But we need a group to cover, well, I mean, you can cover both, but either this plane or the other, or the one that you're from. Or go in between the two. But I wouldn't suggest doing it a lot because, again, who knows what the Demi-Plane has for you during transportation.
Are you aware of what Sheikah are doing with the mages, and what's the Torchlights Committee position on that?
The mages are just a catalyst. As you know, in your world, there's a lot of misunderstanding and misplaced passion with the mages. Due to history, granted, but the mages, or not all of them, of course, and he looks to Rhaenyra's, but those that are in a state of unrest remain in a state of unrest. And the Shiga, the darkness, is using that for their larger goal, which we've been trying to figure that out for years. Other than destruction, I'm not really sure, and we're still trying to pinpoint it. But, yes. So the Torchlight Committee's stance on this is the Shiga needs to be wiped out. They need to be stopped. Or else your plane, along with this plane, and along with every other plane that I have on representation here, are seemingly going to be wiped out.
Do we know for sure that it's the Shiga who are using these devices?
Oh, I don't know who else would. And frankly, if anyone else has more power than the Shiga, then I don't know what to say about that. I would be afraid that there are two groups that we need to worry about. So I'm just, assuming and hoping that it's just the one group.
Is he being genuine?
You can make an insight check, sure.
11.
Yeah, he seems, what... Okay, anyways. Oh, I plugged you in. Why are you low on battery? He seems genuine. Yes. Yeah, he seems genuine to you, Gerbil.
But what's the point of destroying everything? I don't. At least, like, bugbears. They're focused. They just want more power. But I mean, if you just, I don't. Why just get rid of? This is a lot bigger than I thought. I thought I just had to kill my brothers and I'd be done.
Yes. Listen. And he looks to you, Gerbil. Your brother is, yes, a problem, but he is also, I believe, and maybe it's just me wanting to see the best in people, being used. I'm not saying that his actions aren't his own, but I'm also saying that the Shiga has ways of manipulating behind the scenes without realizing. They have ways of almost infecting people. So be weary of placing all the blame on him.
Would taking out his brother just be putting a band-aid on the situation?
I mean, yes. Look, he's a powerful player. I mean, he is a pawn. He's a powerful pawn, I guess I should say. But it's like, sure, it's like fighting a hydra and cutting off one of its heads.
How do we know they're a part of that group? She'll take a cup of coffee from the table and start sipping it.
His brother or anyone?
Anyone.
Oh, well,
we can't just go around killing.
No, I don't want you to go around killing. That would be not a good thing. We do. There is a way, and I will be more than happy to reveal that way to you. After a sort of test.
Jesus.
We just need to make sure, and everyone in every group that has went to any of the planes, even Geneva, has went through this, just to make sure that. Did you just wave, Andrew? Okay. Do you have a question, Zephyr? Okay.
He was waving to say he went through the test.
We just need to make sure that this is something that you each want to do on your own, and not just because you're helping a friend. And he looks to Gerbil.
Why?
Because if you don't want to be here, then we can find other people. I mean...
How long has the Torchlight Committee existed?
Where's the bats?
It's been about... it's been about...
I don't think we're in the right place just yet.
56 years, I think, give or take. This form of the committee has been here, but I think the essence of the Torchlight Committee has been around for 200.
Jeez,
So
that's a lot shorter than I.
Well, the Torchlight Committee as you see it now, which, I mean, not this cafe and just myself, but as it is now, was kind of in an effort to, once we started seeing signs even before the planes started disappearing or disintegrating, shifts in events, shifts in time, people rising up. It kind of we started noticing things with the last mage uprising, when they almost leveled Osbergen. And that's why you see all the... that's why they are so strict now in Osbergen, where I believe most of you are from, because of the mages and their unchecked power, if they're angry enough. Which, unfortunately, a lot of people in that area made them angry enough.
What does our plane look like?
Oh, well, give me a moment. And he will, go back, to a door, again, that you didn't really notice was there, and kind of wave his hand, and it unlocks and opens for him. He's gone for maybe not even a minute. Very quick. Comes back into the room. The door closes behind him. And he comes over with the same kind of glass case with the gold base. And inside you see this circular sphere turning. And there are different patches of earth, and some green, some brown, some white. There are certain parts that are kind of dark and cloudy, like not just from clouds in the atmosphere that's kind of swirling around it, but almost like something connected with that piece of land. And then you see some more familiar, like, the very green lushness in the mountains of Osbergen. The ice continent below it, or the cold continent below it, which would have been Victa, which everyone was on, and I believe saw a map of. And he just kind of holds it there. This is it. This is Astra'lannor. It's not, I mean...
Who made that representation, though? Like who makes all of these? She kind of waves over towards the other glass cases and...
Oh. Very, very powerful mage. Colum is his first name. And he'll kind of take the sphere and just kind of sit it down on like a small table by a chair and look at it for a couple of moments.
Oh, is it like a marble?
No, it's the sphere, the glass part. Yeah, the glass part is
that she could like throw it.
Oh, like the actual world inside. No, it's more or less an arcane representation, so it's just magic inside these. You can't... I can't take the world out and hold it in my hand without it dissipating. It exists within a very specific arcane structure inside these. But yeah, Cullum Crinthora is the mage that created these universes, traveled to many of them, did research, but actually lives in your plane. I believe he's...
He's still alive?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I believe he's holed himself up as a hermit these days. He's lived a very long time and has done a lot of great work. He's helped us in many ways, but he has decided that he wants a quiet life, and I don't blame him. That's why I made this a cafe and a library, is I wanted something that I liked. And he kind of looks around proudly. This is a very magical plane, Dem Glemte. It's fantastical, it's beautiful, it's dangerous.
So, you have agents on each plane, or just here?
Most of them. Most of the planes, yes. I have groups like you guys. And on a few of the different planes. Some of them go from one to the next. Yeah. You'd be the first for yours.
Was me and Addie being stuck in the Feywild all those years? Always thought it was some accident on my part. But is that your doing? Is that the committee's doing?
It was Addie's doing.
Is he telling the truth?
Do an insight check.
Well,
She won in peace.
16.
He seems truthful.
Deegan's going to step up and say, in my travels with these, and before, I've seen a lot of evil. I've seen a lot of bad things done. I've seen abuse in Fairweather. I've seen sacrifices in Bornheim. I've seen and the outright murder and genocide of mages in Baron. If this is what you stand against, if this is what you want to stop, then I'm ready for your test. I can't speak for the others.
If somewhere down the road we we're able to stop the mages and if we follow through with this, will less mages die? There are innocent mages dying this very second in those floating cities.
If we can stop the Shiga from using the mages, yes, less mages will die, Rhaenyra. I too would like to not see another mage die, especially ones that could be so much more, but who are, because of society and because of how they've been treated, are forced to react. And some of them are influenced to react in the wrong way. well, in a way that is harmful to themselves and others.
Then I will take your test. I have a promise to keep.
It's nothing that will, and he looks around to all of you, it's nothing that will hurt you. It's just more of a mental test to just make sure that this is what you want to do. We take care of our agents. We take care of those who help us. If you need anything and it's within my power, I would make sure that you're taken care of. Again, if it's within my power, but I can tell.
I made a promise to Addie that I would follow through with her mission, so I was going to agree no matter what.
He walks up to you, Gerbil, and takes both of your hands in his. She's proud of you. I know that. And he gives you a very, extremely kind smile. And the rest of you? Zephyr, are you going to be accompanying this group on their quest?
I'm ready for your test.
I know you are. And what about the rest of you? And he looks to Pix, Ren, and Ren. He's going to kneel down beside Mags, Ren. This one's a good one. One of the best I've seen. And he stands back up. She's from here, you know.
How do you know?
I can tell. She has a magical aura about her. That's only here in the plane.
I'll kind of look at Mags and kind of with the like, I now know something about you and it makes it a little different. I mind.
Mags she was standing before and she'll sit down and look up at you, Ren. And in your mind, you kind of feel not words, but more like a feeling of he's right. Jonathan, stop.
I'll take your test.
And what about you?
Well, as much as I would very much like to see a certain place disappear, it seems to affect everybody else, and I'm tired of war. I basically grew up around it. So I'm trying to get away from, but I can't be selfish in this if this affects everybody on the plains and I'd rather not die. That's pretty big.
I don't want to see you die, Pixrim.
Pretty big deal.
Just so that you know, he is involved in this.
How so?
He's not like Gerbil's brother. Which is another thing that drew me to the group of you. You seem to have connections to people that are strange. He's a pawn but acting more of his own volition than even Dribbles' brother. I think that he's a wild card both for the Shiga and for us even being able to track any of his movements.
Varus, that's the name.
Yes.
I mean, you really didn't have to say it out loud, but thank you.
Wait, did the bird know his name?
How did you... How many people know?
Oh, we don't know.
Not you guys.
Yeah.
How did...
Zephyr will say that again in Zell's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Varus, yes, that's the name.
Gerbil recognize Zell's voice.
I'll turn the picture.
I'll say that you recognize it, Gerbil. If anyone else wants to try to recognize it, we'll
Oh, I know it is.
yeah.
I'll turn the picture and then say he and I overheard it from Zephyr. I was going to talk to you about that, but owlbears happened.
So Thora, I don't recognize that name.
I think she's
Gerbil will kind of like have a little sigh of relief.
If you go to Perth, I might be there.
Oh, Perth. I've been there. Great ghost stories in Perth. One of my favorite it's a pretty sprawling town, but it's an interesting visit.
Stay tuned for the Halloween episode. That's what I heard.
Ta-da! Right. All right. Well,
Just so that you're aware. I'm not meaning to scare you off, but I do... He'll take a step nearer to you, not in your bubble or anything, Pixram, but the committee will protect you as much as we can. You have my word on that.
even against an army?
Even against what?
An army?
Oh, an army.
Because I can't talk right tonight.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just didn't hear it. Yes. Even against an army.
No offense, but I think I'll believe it when I see it, but I'll take your test.
Well, again,
Rude.
we're not everywhere, but,
Wow.
you know.
Wow. How long have you guys been? Wow. Y'all want to talk.
And we're all gonna kill Zephyr. I mean, as soon as we're out of this place, don't you know?
Okay, well,
Call me rude.
Geneva, and all of a sudden Geneva, it's kind of like they're in your space, and everyone, like, they're like 10 feet away from everyone. Yes. Geneva will show you to your rooms for the night. And which would surprise the group of you because, I mean, it was still daylight when you came in. Show you to your rooms for the night. And it will be in your dreams where the test will take place.
Oh, goody.
Excuse me, I'm sensitive.
You'll be fine. And you'll help each other. So, there'll be that. And then, once you're awake in the morning and done with everything, I'll make sure you have a full night's rest. And we'll talk. If you have anything else to say afterwards. But I hope for good results. I like the lot of you. You're fun. I think that you'll be a help. And I think that we can be a help to you.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Geneva. All right. Just follow me. And she will lead you through another door, not the one that Aurelius went through before. That one's disappeared. It's a different one this time. 2 double doors. That she will open up into, that lead into this very warm, welcoming hallway with these candle sconces on the wall that are very lightly burning. And there are 6 doors. I had to think of how many there were of you. I was like 7? No, 6. 6 doors. Just go into whatever room you want to, and accommodations are there. If you need anything, there's a little bell on the wall, so just ring. Okay?
Oh, is there anything to like freshen up? Because we just got done with.
Yes, there are warm baths in each room,
Owlbears.
along with wash basins. All right. And good night, and I'll see you in the morning. And she will close the door, and y'all are left in the hallway.
Good night, and I'll see you in the morning.
Zach, are you saying something? If so, you were muted.
Oh no, comedic humor gone.
I saw your mouth move, and I was
A
like,
moment's gone.
there's
like
something.
that.
Yeah. And I saw the wry smile afterwards. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
man.
I call middle, then I run down the hall and realize
Okay.
there's no middle.
Okay.
And just pick one.
All right. And everyone's just going to their rooms? Or going to a room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say, Pixar will say good night, go into a room,
You
kind of
guys-
take off her chainmail and stuff, like kind of wash up a little bit before,
Yeah.
and then crash.
There's a warm bath. You guys feel oddly tired. I mean, even if you didn't like a few minutes before, like just going
Firbolg's
into
dead.
this warm hallway and going into the rooms just automatically relaxes you, and you feel this kind of calming presence as you walked into this space. And yeah, the battle and everything that came before that and the past couple of days, even it just kind of washes off of you. In each room, however, not only is there a warm bath and a wash basin and pretty much any minor accommodation you would need, it's also at the comfort level that you would imagine a comfortable room to be in. Whether that's with a soft bed or a hard bed, or whether that's with a lot of pillows or no pillows, or a stone piece for a pillow, or everything is, I'm not saying like a comet, decorated in a way that like, I'm not going to go that far, but like it is to your comfort level.
Firbolg's room is a cave. No.
Lots of pillows.
Yes. All right. And so, anything that anyone wants to do before they go to bed, other than Pig's turn, when she was taking off.
I'm
her
gonna
chainmail.
attune to the bracers given to us.
Okay.
by John.
Mhm.
That's his name.
Yes. Okay.
Gerbil will fresh it up probably for the first time of the campaign.
Right.
And he'll like take a bath and everything, and then he'll have the chainmail shirt ready to wear.
Okay.
So just gonna go ahead and equip that.
All right.
I will also probably take a bath, and then I'm going to take my pearl that I put my memories into, and I'm going to stick it in the little backpack that's on Pip.
Okay.
Close that up. And then I'm going to kind of just sit and stare at Mags for a while in kind of just contemplation, trying to process the fact that this wolf came to me from another plane, and does that have to do anything with what's going on? Does she know what's happening? Did she like all this stuff that I'm just decompressing?
Yeah.
And then I'll eventually fall asleep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You feel, I don't know. I mean, you felt calm coming into the room, but you feel even more like at ease looking at Mags. Almost like Mags is reassuring you.
And then probably as I lay down to sleep, I'll probably like whistle or something and have her jump up on the bed and lay down with me.
She will. Anything else for anyone? All right, Zephyr, you're just going to sleep too?
Rude.
Okay. All right. So everyone lays down for the night. And that's where we're in tonight's session.
Woo!
All right. Thank you, players. Thank you, those in chat who have stayed with us, even though we ran a little bit late. Just want to get to a good stopping point. All right. Well, you've been watching The Forsaken, which is every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Madbird Streams has D&D content, D&D 5e content, several nights of the week starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. We also have a D&D 5e campaign on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Tower of Dreams, that Andrew DMs. And on Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Mad Art with Steph, where I do some Madbird fan art that you can vote on what we do in the Discord channel. Although we probably won't have a poll this week because we did have a Tower of Dreams poll last week that I'll probably start on. But usually, at least every other week, we'll have a poll there. So you can vote on what moments get chosen for fan art pieces. Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time is Madbird Plays, hosted by Victoria, where Madbird players, community members, as well as people from other D&D streaming communities come in to play Tabletop Simulator together or Jackbox games. But yeah, we also have a new campaign that just started a couple of weeks ago, In Extremis. That's our Saturday night campaign. We have a crossover coming up, not this weekend, but not this Friday, but next Friday, between 3 of our campaigns. And then also kind of a little crossover event this Sunday on Obsidian Scar at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where some of our Curious Lament, some of our Tuesday night people and Friday night people, Stormfall, are going to be in the Obsidian Scar campaign, setting up things for the crossover the following week. So a lot of stuff happening, plus other things. Also, we're launching a Madbird Patreon, I think on the 18th, 15th? I think it might be this Saturday. Yeah, I think it's this Saturday we're launching the Madbird Patreon. So stay tuned for that and for the official announcement for that, so you can get some more content and have another way to support the stream if you so desire. Yeah, I think that's it, and great timing because my cat wants in my room. Oh no. Let's see if anyone is streaming here. You're just gonna have to wait 1 second. 1 second. I don't know if we have anyone. Let's see here. Oh, I think are the role players. Oh yeah, I think that we usually head over there. So I think that we're gonna raid the role players. We're playing some D&D 5e Sweetness. I think it's D&D. I don't know. But we're gonna head over there. Once I get this typed in. But again, thank you everyone. You've been great. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday evening. Well, night, I guess. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And we'll see you around on our other streams. All right. Bye.
Bye.